Hello, I'm Lauren and welcome to Zestful Kitchen. Today we're making my perfect soft and chewy gingerbread cookies, and they're inspired by a recipe from my childhood best friend's mom, Nancy. They're soft and chewy and they're deeply spiced, and I look forward to them every year, but I wanted my own recipe that I could share with family and friends, so that is the recipe we're making today. So when I set out to make the perfect gingerbread cookies, I wanted them to be soft and chewy and to maintain their soft and chewiness. So you need two different types of fat. You need butter for flavor and you need shortening for that chew. So butter has about 16% water in it. So what happens during baking is that water evaporates out and creates a crisper, drier cookie. So you don't want that when you want soft and chewy gingerbread cookies. So to offset that, we want to use more shortening by weight than we would butter. Shortening is pure fat. There's no moisture in it, so it doesn't evaporate off anything, keeping the cookie nice and chewy. It also melts slower than butter, so there's a couple things that happen. It's going to allow the cookie to puff up and get nice and tall before spreading out, and it also will help the cookie keep its shape so you have little gingerbread men, which is really nice. We're gonna blend these together until they're nice and creamed. You want your butter to be room temperature so it incorporates evenly. I want to talk about the spices we have. So we have ground ginger, ground cinnamon, ground allspice, cloves, and salt. It's a lot of spice, but you want your gingerbread to be very gingerbready. So we're going to add this in. We're also going to add in some brown sugar. So the brown sugar is also going to aid in chewiness because it's higher in moisture than white sugar. And then we're going to add in a good amount of molasses. This is also going to make for a super chewy cookie and a deeply flavored gingerbread molasses cookie. Then we're going to add in the spices. And then we have one large egg that's at room temperature. We're going to add that in. And we're going to blend this up until it's smooth. Need that butter to get mixed in. Okay. All right, it's all mixed in. The butter is blended in. And now we're going to add a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And this might be kind of a surprising ingredient. It's going to balance out all of the really warm, savory ingredients and just add a little bit of tang. But then it also is going to activate the baking soda so you get tall, puffy, chewy cookies. The molasses and the brown sugar will also do that, but this is a nice punch of acidity that will activate that baking soda. All right, we're going to blend this up and then we'll add the dry ingredients. All right, scraped on the sides. And then we have all-purpose flour and baking soda going in. So if you can, weigh the flour on a food scale. If you don't have a food scale, just make sure you spoon and level the flour, fluff it a little bit, then spoon it into your cup and level it. But we're gonna whisk these together. And I'm just using all-purpose flour, nothing fancy. We're gonna put it in 3 increments just so we don't overmix things. You don't want to overmix these. I'm gonna put it on low and then slowly add it in. Okay, last batch. All right, so I just stopped mixing when there's no dry flour to be seen. And then there's always gonna be some that's on the beater. Give it one more stir with a rubber spatula because there's probably going to be some butter at the bottom or some dry pockets of flour. This dough is really sticky, which is what you want for chewy cookies. But that means we need to chill it. So I'm going to get 2 sheets of plastic wrap and we're going to cut this in half and chill the dough in 2 squares. Then it's easier to roll out. Then it doesn't get too warm when you are rolling it out. It's just going to chill for about an hour. And you can just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I just kind of pat it into a round or a square, just something that will be easier to roll out. So this can chill in the fridge for up to 3 days. I usually just do it for an hour and then roll it out. You can also put it in the freezer for up to a month. I probably wouldn't do it more than a month, and then let it thaw and roll it out. So you can get ahead of this during the holidays if you want. Okay, our dough has chilled, so it's time to roll it out. And you can do it 2 ways. You can do it between 2 pieces of parchment paper. Totally could do that. Or you can do it with a little bit of flour. The only thing is you don't want to roll it out on too much flour, but it's kind of a fine line because it's a really sticky dough. So you're going to need to reflour a little bit. I would start with less and add it as you need instead of coating your counter in flour. And then we're going to roll it out to 1/4 inch thick, no thinner. You want these to be thick and chewy. So I'm just going to do a little bit of flour on top and start rolling it. It's still pretty soft, so it'll be easy to roll out. Let's check to see how thick it is. She's perfect. So I'm using the classic gingerbread man. You can do round cookie cutters, you could do stars, you could do whatever. But the most important thing is to use a 3 to 4 inch cookie cutter. If you're using smaller, you're gonna wanna bake it for less time. If you're using a bigger one, bake it for more time, yada, yada. But 3 to 4 inches is ideal. And then I also like to use an offset spatula to transfer it to our baking sheets. So I have these lined with parchment paper. An important thing is that you're going to want 2 baking sheets so you can be baking one and cooling the other one. You don't want to put your cookie dough on the baking sheet when it's still warm, unless you're going to put it right into the oven, or else it'll just start to melt and the cookies will be soupy. Look at the cutest little gingerbread. And then we're going to bake these bad boys. I have my oven preheated to 350. It looks like it's 325 because my oven runs 25 degrees hot. So if you don't have an oven thermometer, I would recommend getting one because sometimes what your oven says it is not. Anyway, we're baking at 350 for 8 to 10 minutes until they're puffed and the edges look set. You can re-roll this out. So just smoosh it together and re-roll it out. Really, I think you can do it as many times as you want until the dough is used. It's such a soft dough that you don't really have to worry about it getting overworked. All right, our cookies are baked and cooling. So now we're gonna make the very simple gingerbread cookie glaze. We need some powdered sugar. So I'm gonna put that in a medium bowl. And we're gonna start off by mixing it with a fork first. And then we're gonna go to a whisk just to make sure everything's like incorporated because it can be kind of tricky to get it together at first. So we're gonna use some white corn syrup. We're gonna do 2 teaspoons of corn syrup and that's just gonna give the glaze a nice shine and help it set up on the cookies. And then we're gonna do some orange extract because I think orange and gingerbread go really well together, but you can do vanilla if you want. Do the same amount, 1 teaspoon. It will change the color of it because vanilla is brown. It'll change the tint a bit. All right, and then we're gonna add in 3 tablespoons of water. Okay. And I'm gonna start with just a little pinch of salt. We'll season to taste at the end. So I'm gonna first mix it with a fork. That's like the worst sound. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Now we're gonna go to a whisk to beat out any of the lumps. I don't know why I start with a fork. I'm sure there's a reason. Helps, I would say, if I'm really thinking about why I do that, I think it's to disperse the corn syrup. You could probably start with a whisk. We're gonna add just a little bit more water. So add water by ½ teaspoon until you reach the desired consistency, which should be ribbony, kind of ribbon-like. That is looking good. You want it to still be thick that it will hold its shape on the cookies. All right, I'm gonna taste it, see if it needs some more salt. It's tasty, I'm gonna do a little bit more. Okay. And now we're gonna put it in a Ziploc bag. So you can do a piping bag with a small tip, or you can just do a Ziploc bag, which I find to be just as easy, especially since we're not going to be doing like really intricate decoration. It's basically for outlining and adding faces and buttons on the belly. So you don't have to get too fancy. Now we're gonna decorate. So the next thing, we just need to quickly trim the Ziploc. And it's always best to trim less because you can't put it back. So I always do like the tiniest bit and just see how much comes out. A tiny little bit. And then you can try it on a cookie, I guess. We could try it on a cookie, see if we need to do more. All right, so for decorations, I have some Red Hots, which can be kind of hard to find these days. They're not as popular as they once were. I found these at I think a Walgreens. So look there. So I have some of those. I have some really pretty white sparkly sugar / sprinkles. And then I also just have some like white and gold sprinkles. You can also just do the frosting. Gumdrops are great, candy canes, crushed peppermint. And I decorate mine really simply. I usually do eyes and some zigzags on the arms. Let's hope I can do this. No. Why is the decorating so hard for me today? He looks angry. Smiley face. I should have practiced. So in addition to being able to freeze the dough, you can freeze the baked cookies. You can freeze them with or without the glaze. They can be in the freezer for up to 3 months and just let them thaw before you enjoy them. They'll need about an hour on the counter, that's all. But then they'll be just as good as the day you baked them. And I would freeze them in a freezer bag for the freshest results. I don't know. You know, people are going to see these decorated cookies and be like, maybe you should use a piping bag. I'm going to taste test. I'm going to try one that has all sprinkles because I like the crunch. It's so soft and chewy, and they're thick and they're chewy. They're the best gingerbread cookies. I love these. They are so easy to make. If you think gingerbread is a little intimidating or hard, I want you to try this recipe because it comes together really quickly. They're easy to roll out, quick to bake. And the nice thing is you can stash them, either the dough in the freezer or the cookies themselves in the freezer, and you can get ahead on holidays. So that's really nice. Hope you enjoy this recipe. Everything is in the caption below, the recipe link, tools, all the things. Let me know if you make these and let me know how you are going to decorate them. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you meet me back here next week for another recipe.